President Biden is reassuring Ukrainian President Zelenskyy the U.S. will continue to throw support behind Ukraine.
Yeah, the pair held a call this morning as increasing violence fuels skepticism about Russia's promise to scale back military operations near Kyiv and Chernihiv. Officials say shelling continued overnight across Ukraine in Chernihiv. A city councilman told the Associated Press shelling there actually increased. The Pentagon warns if Moscow makes good on its promise to scale back operations, the move is merely a repositioning as opposed to an overall scale back.
So joining us now with more from Kyiv is CBS News foreign correspondent Debora Patta. Hi, Debora. Thank you so much for being with us. So we know that Moscow promised to scale back military operations in certain areas, but Ukrainian officials say that is yet to happen. And now a Kremlin spokesperson is also saying there was no breakthrough with yesterday's peace talks in Istanbul. So why are we not all on the same page here? What kind of game is Russia playing, and what are its intentions?
Well, that's a good question. The threat remains here in Ukraine. Overnight in Kyiv, we heard sirens, shelling in the capital, and Ukrainians are on their guard. And the claim by the Russian military really has yet to fully materialize on the ground. Ukrainians on social media, in fact, have responded with derision, believing it is a trick by Russian forces and that they are basically, as you pointed out, regrouping to come back even stronger. I spoke to two volunteer soldiers manning checkpoints in the city today, and they both said they think Russia is playing a game. It will regroup and attack with more vengeance. The military patrol checkpoints are also very suspicious of anyone who say could be a potential saboteur. And in Chernihiv, the other city that Russians say they will reduce operations in, the governor of that region has said he sees no let-up at all in Russian attacks. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, in fact, says that the enemy is still here, that missile and airstrikes continue. That is the reality. The Ukrainian government is very worried that the Russians are using this as an opportunity to regroup, and they also believe some troops will be left here to keep up the pressure on the capital. Remember, the war is still ongoing on the Eastern Front in Donbass, and this is not a ceasefire. So the Ukrainian government is worried that Russian troops that remain near Kyiv will in fact prevent them from sending all their forces to Donbass to assist on that front line. As you know, one of Russia's aims is to take Donbass, which incorporates Donetsk and Luhansk, so that they can create a land bridge with Crimea, which they seized in 2014. And in doing so, by creating this land bridge, they hope to cut off Ukraine's access to the Azov Sea. So what are Russia's intentions? Nobody can be sure, but there certainly is a lot of skepticism.
Debora, the UN says more than 4 million refugees have fled Ukraine since Russia's invasion began. But of course, there are still millions of people who remain in the country. So what's the latest on those evacuation corridors? And where will these people end up going to? What's the situation in those countries?
Exactly, Mo. I mean, that figure of 4 million doesn't include another 6 million internally displaced Ukrainians. And the number of children who have been displaced is around half of all kids here in Ukraine. So make no mistake, this is also a devastating humanitarian crisis. The images of places like Mariupol that you've also seen are apocalyptic. It's been decimated, reduced to rubble and ruins. And Ukrainian officials say at least half the city is now in the hands of Russians. Most people have fled, but in places like Mariupol, there are still over 150,000 people trapped there with very little food and no electricity, taking shelter in basements where it's freezing. So a humanitarian corridor was opened up briefly on the weekend, but only over 500 people managed to get out. That's a trickle. And since then, there have been no further humanitarian corridors. When people do get out, they escape to wherever they can. If they have family in another part of the country, they will go there. Some seek accommodation in makeshift shelters. We met another group of around 30 people in a town outside Kyiv, women and children who were living in a kindergarten school, the beds all lined up in a classroom. They've lost their homes, fled the fighting, but there they have food, they have shelter, but more importantly, they have safety for now. But it's a growing problem and another crisis this government has to deal with, as well as governments around Ukraine, in and amidst all this fierce fighting. Mola?
Seems like a unsustainable situation. Debora Patta, thank you.